Welcome to episode 14 of Blue.Green.Fusion, Blue Collar Jobs for a Green Economy. Today's episode is When We Were Green, and if that title sounds slightly familiar to you, it's because I did a takeoff of the Spike Lee movie or documentary When We Were Kings, and I did it because it's the holiday season. And I'm feeling sentimental. I'm looking back at the past, particularly when it comes for my family, how we came to where we are today. And so, hence, When We Were Green. More on that later. We do have some announcements. Actually, I've got quite a few of announcements. Lots going on. The end of the year, the new beginnings, and so lots of stuff happening. I did attend the last City Council meeting of the year for Des Moines. That was Monday, December 20th, and I decided if my city needed my help, then I wanted to make myself available. I wanted to be there. I'm not sure if they needed my help, but I was there, and I will be there just in case. I clapped for something. It was something good. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was a very interesting council meeting, and I'm glad I went. Lots of people there, standing room only, just a full slate of participants, Des Moines residents, public safety, local officials, and interested parties from the media like myself. Alright, so one of the issues was a wicked dog that menaced people. Actually, it was not a wicked dog, it's more of a neglected dog, I think, that turned aggressive. And so the owner, the victim, the police, and other witnesses provided information. Also on the agenda, they were trying to establish best practices for priority snow removal. That's been an issue, particularly with a new program that's been implemented. We talked about that on Blue.Green.Fusion, the snow priority streets. 16 neighborhoods volunteered to participate in that program. There was a media effort to educate the residents, and apparently it got past some people and they got ticketed. But anyway, several Des Moines residents explained the limitations of their circumstances in participating in their neighborhoods' snow removal programs. And so that was actually covered by the Des Moines Register and actually today's Des Moines Register, the Tuesday, December 28th. It's titled Residents Struggle with New Snow Ordinance. And so they're saying that the Des Moines City Council considers allowing front yard parking for those who have no driveway. If the front yard parking is permitted, Councilman Brian Meyer said it should be with the stipulation that it would only be after a snowfall and until streets are cleared, and only for this winter. Next year, people with hardships would have to come up with other parking arrangements if there isn't adequate space on their properties. Meyer's suggestion received unanimous council support. So it looks like that's one of the solutions that they came up with. It's not a perfect solution, but it's something that most of them could get behind, and it looks like most of the residents would be agreeable to that. But anyway, the 16 neighborhoods that are in that program are Accent, Beaverdale, Brook Run, Douglas Acres, Grayswood, Highland Park, Laura Beaver, Martin Hickman, Meredith, Mondayman Presidential, Pioneer Park, Somerset, Union Park, Valley High Manor, Waterbury, and Westwood neighborhoods. So if you are a resident of those neighborhoods, look sharp, pay attention, especially during snow events. And then for more information, visit the city's website. You can go to www.dngov.org or call the 24-hour Public Works Snow Desk at 283-4950. Okay, so that's pretty nice that they were able to work with that. There is also another topic covered in the paper that's pretty similar. This was not at the council, but it's kind of related to the snow priority streets program. This is in the same Tuesday, Des Moines 28th paper. Illegal parkers' gifts, warnings, not tickets. Illegal parkers in 16 Des Moines neighborhoods escaped a $35 ticket with a warning notice over the weekend after a storm dropped about 4 inches of snow Friday. Officials decided that because it was the Christmas holidays, and I'll just go ahead and say that a lot of people who were not actual residents of Des Moines, but actually relatives and family and friends of Des Moines residents would be parking in different ways at different times. They decided to forgive those with the warning. So they're going, you know, trying to be reasonable, trying to come up with solutions, but definitely if you're in those neighborhoods, look sharp, pay attention, move the car, and it's basically for getting the streets cleared as soon as possible, because it's kind of hard for that plow to dodge in and around parked cars, and we all want clear streets. So that's that. So that was how that played out from the Des Moines City Council. Back to the actual event, the Somerset Neighborhood Association president actually praised the program. He did say that he saw it advertised in different media, and I did too as well. I saw it in the October 26th Des Moines Register. There were signs, and then there was other written notifications online too as well. But anyway, they did kind of conclude that neighborhood associations would have to work harder to disperse that information to the residents. Communication is key. It usually is. And so now that it's been introduced to everyone in a very, very unescapable way, hopefully that'll make people pay closer attention. But anyway, the large multifamily and rental aspects of the Drake neighborhood and Sherman Hill neighborhood, they concluded, as the council creates a special circumstance for snow removal. It's very difficult in those older neighborhoods with a high density of population, and then of course a high density of cars, to remove the cars during snow events. So that's going to create another kind of circumstance. I'm sure they want their streets cleared too, but unless the cars are moved, it'll be difficult. So that'll be something that will have to be worked out. If not this year, then hopefully next year a solution will be found. Alright, so also at the City Council, they discussed Southwest Airlines. And I like Southwest. I talked about Southwest Airlines on Blue.Green.Fusion a few episodes in the past. And it was because of a New York Times article celebrating the 40th birthday of Southwest Airlines. I believe on my end as a consumer that I've always been treated well. I always got to where I needed to go for a very reasonable price, which is very important. I didn't get a meal or, you know, a hot towel to soothe myself, but I got to where I needed to go safely, you know, that was the whole point of my trip, and so I like them. However, I've never been able to fly into Des Moines, which is where my family is, which was always kind of worrisome. But I could fly to Kansas City, or Minneapolis, or Chicago, or like another nearby city. And I think a lot of people kind of share that desire to actually be able to use that airline that they prefer, or that has reasonable prices, or goes to the cities that they need, directly into Des Moines rather than going up to Minneapolis or, you know, another nearby city. And they presented that through the creation of the Des Moines Airport Authority. That's what was brought before the council. And so there was some discussion on that from the council members, lots of questioning, and then input from some union members who had concerns about how it would affect them as well, the Des Moines Airport Authority. And so that is still being decided, and I did notice that Christine Hensley is pretty much a dominant force on the council overall through all the issues that were raised. She asked a lot of questions, had a lot of input, very reasonable, very fair, which I appreciated. And, you know, being a female myself, you know, I like that she was actually a participant and not just a head nodder. And I hope I see more of that. Very important. But anyway, the council meeting was jam-packed, and there was lots of voting. And they also voted on some properties that were declared a nuisance.